So in this scenario, what we want to do is if account annual revenue is more than 9 million, we have to display big account message. If it is more than 5 million, we will display medium account message, and otherwise we will display small account message on a contact record. So this is going to be an example where we cannot use case function. We will use if function instead to resolve it. So let's go ahead and try if case function is going to work or not. Again, we have to display the message on contact record. So that means we have to create this formula field on the contact object. So let's click on new here and select the field type, which is formula, click next. And here we will give the name to our field. Let's name it as account size. We are returning a text message, so that's why we'll select text and click next. And now we have to build our formula. So what is our formula is saying? Sorry, our question is saying, let's copy and paste that here so that we have that in front of us. Okay. And the account annual revenue is a standard field. We already have that on the account record. So that's good. We don't have to create a custom field for it. So we say annual revenue. Based on this annual revenue amount, we have to display that message on the contact record, on the related contact record. So let's go ahead and try that. So what we will do is we will start building our function. First, I'm going to use if function for that. Okay, let's go ahead, try if function. So this is the scenario where we're going to use another if function, okay? So select it. And also we'll be using nested if function. So one more scenario for us to exercise with. Let's keep this formula in our comment section again so that we can reference. And then we'll insert again and start building this one. What is my logical test? My logical test is I need to check the annual revenue field on the account object, right? Or account record. So I'm going to keep this highlighted, and then I will select insert field, and then navigate to account, annual revenue, and here it is. And it's a currency field. Click insert. That field got inserted here. And my logical test is I need to check if this amount is bigger than 9 million. All right, 9 million. So 9 and 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it is bigger than 9 million, then what do I want to do is I want to return this big account message. And I want to display this message on the contact record. Now, we also have two other scenarios that we have to handle. We have to check if it is also bigger than 5 million. So we return 3 different values. One value is big account, another value is medium account, and another value is small account. And because of that, we have to go with nested if functions. If it was just 2 values that we needed to return, then we could just keep this if function and not use the nested if function and be done with our formula. But because we have to return more than 2 options, big account, medium account, and small account messages, we have to go with nested if function. So I have handled the big account part over here. Now I need to handle the other 2 scenarios. And the other 2 scenarios are going to be built right here. We will replace this part with our other if function. So let me go ahead and highlight this part, and there we will insert if function. Okay, so insert if function here. All right, so I inserted the if function. Then what we will do is I have to check the same thing again here. My logical test is this annual annual revenue field, right? Let's copy that and put it here. Okay. And value if true, if my value in this scenario, I have to check if that value is bigger than 5 million. And if it is bigger than 5 million, what kind of message I want to return? I want to return this message, which says medium account. All right. And if it's not medium account, then it has to be a small account. Then I'm not doing any test for it. What we will do is we will just return the small account message. All right. And let's check the syntax. So we don't have any errors. Everything is good so far. So again, this part checks if it is bigger than 9 million. If it is bigger than 9 million, we're returning this message. If it's not bigger than 9 million, we're checking if it's bigger than 5 million. If it is, we'll return medium account message. And if not, we'll return small account message. So we only have to worry about 3 options that we're returning, or 3 values that we're returning. If there was another requirement saying, let's say, if the account annual revenue is bigger than 2 million, return another value, then you would replace this small account part with another if function and keep going that way. So every time you need to return one more value, you will replace this value if false part and keep building your function. So let's save this. Actually, let's keep clicking on next because we're building a new field in this scenario. Click next and save. We will navigate to our contact record. Let's do a refresh here. Let's check the let's check the details. The annual revenue is 5,600,000. Let's go to related contacts and see what message we see there. Account size, that's the field we're looking for. It's not here yet. Let's click on a refresh. Account size. Not here yet. Let me do one more refresh. This time I will do harder refresh. And we built that on contact. You see, this is the formula field we just built, and we need it to be displayed on our contact. Account size, here it is. It says it is a big account. All right. Is that what we needed? If it is more than 9 million, we want to display big account. If it is more than 5 million, we want to display medium account. And what is the value on our account? Current value on our account is 5 million. Oh, oh, it's not 5,600,000. It's like 5,600,000,000. So it's a very big value. That's why it displays big deal, or it displays the big account message on our contact. If I update this to a different value, let's remove some of the fields. Let's make this, now this is 56 million. Let's make this 5,600,000 and save. Now it should display the other message, which is the medium account message on our contact record. Let's do a refresh. Medium account. Let's check for another scenario. I'm going to reduce that size. Let's make this, let's delete another 0 to make it 560,000. And we'll navigate back to our contacts, any contact. And now it says small account, right? That's how we build the if function to handle this. Now, if you try to go with case function, you might ask, okay, can we go with case function for this scenario? And let's try that. Going back to the account size formula field, and we'll try to edit this, and we will try to see if we can replace this nested if function with a formula that uses case function. So I'm going to enter the case function from here. Let's find it and select it and enter it here. So in this scenario, my expression would be, let's also copy this and keep it here for our reference point. So our expression would be, I have to check this value, right? I have to check this value, annual revenue. That is my expression. Okay. Now the value, the account annual revenue, the value can be, I'm checking over here, I'm checking if it is bigger than 9 million. And if you're using a case function, you have to give a value over here. How many values are there that are bigger than 9 million? There are like infinitely many amounts that you can come up with, right? So are you gonna keep listing if it's 10 million? If it's 10 million, return big account. Value 2, if it is 5 million, sorry, if it is 5 million, return medium account. And otherwise, return small account. So if you try to go with something like this, it is going to be a wrong formula. Why? Because let me copy this if function, remove that and put it into our comment area, and then check syntax over here. It says there's no syntax error, and this is our formula that we're trying to build with case function. And as you can see, there is a problem with this. So what is going to happen is we will return this big account message only if the account annual revenue is 10 million. If it's 9,500,000, it's not going to return the correct message. But we can't possibly list all the values here that are bigger than 9 million. But if function, what it allows you to do is it allows you to compare two quantities against each other. But case function does not allow you to compare. With the case function, you have to know exactly what you are expecting, or you have to know all the values that can be returned, or can that field hold. For example, if this was a pick list field, you would know what values in that pick list would be. But because this is just a currency field, users can type any value. And if they type any value besides 10 million, your case function will not return the correct result. So let's go ahead and save this and try this just for fun. So I'm on the contact. Let me navigate to account, go to details, and over here we see this annual revenue. Let me make this 10 million. 10 million, right? That's 10 million. Save. Go back to related contact. And now it's correctly says big account, which is good. Now, if I go ahead and change that amount to, let's say, 15 million. All right, I'm going to change that to 15 million and save. Then let's navigate back to the contact. Now it says medium account. A medium account. Actually, small account. After refresh, it returned the correct value, which is small amount. But is it actually small? No, right? Because the related account has 15 million as the annual revenue, but our formula returns small account as a result. And why is that? So what our formula is doing here, our formula is checking if the account is 10 million, no. Is it 5 million? No. Otherwise, return small account. If that annual revenue is 5 million, it will return medium account. Otherwise, it will return small account for any other value. And for this case function to work, the amounts have to be exactly 10 million or 5 million. All right. And if, for example, the amount is, as you saw, if it is $15 million, then instead of returning big account, it returns small account, which is wrong. So this is the type of scenario case function would not work because we have to do comparison. Case function works best with pick list fields, where you know exactly what values will the pick list field have. So we're getting rid of this, and actually, let me go back, copy this, and put it here, and we'll drop a comment here. This is a scenario where case function won't work. So let's copy our if function back, check syntax. Everything looks good, and we will save. All right, let me go back to that account and contact. So currently account annual revenue is 15 million, and all the contacts should display big account in that field. Let's check this one. Big account. We can go to the other account as well. And this one also shows big account. So I hope this session cleared the question about when you can use or should use if function versus case function.